Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Dr. Powell Show. I'm your host, Dr. Keisha Powell. This week, we are looking at business people who have made a remarkable change, not only in their lives, but using their pain and transforming it into passion. Welcome back. With me today is Mr. Ryan Carson, CEO of Artist Haven Media. Welcome to the Dr. Powell Show.
Thank you for having me.
It's such an honor to have you here on the show. I know for me, you have inspired me many, many years. We've worked together, but before I get into it, could you tell us a little bit about your background and what you do?
Sure. Well, I feel like I have worn many hats over the years. You can attest to that as well. But basically, I have a bachelor's degree in marketing and a master's degree in teaching. So I'm a former special ed teacher, and now I co-own a business called Artist Haven Media, which we do all types of things. We like to say we do everything all under one roof.
Wow.
And I've also been a musician my whole life. So I'm a lead singer and guitarist and pianist for a pop rock band called Waiting for London.
I love guys, if you haven't listened, tune into Spotify and other media for Waiting for London. Their music is just absolutely off the chain. So tell us a little bit more. You went into being a special ed teacher, from marketing to special ed teacher and back to marketing.
Correct.
How did that happen?
An interesting chain of events. Basically, I went into marketing first just because, well, I always enjoyed, this will sound kind of silly, but I always enjoyed selling things. So ever since I was a kid, I loved having lemonade stands. And you learn something new. Yeah, I'd be out there holding a stop sign, getting people to stop. But I also enjoyed helping people too. So I felt like I was doing both with the lemonade stand. So I decided to go into marketing. I worked in marketing for a bit, but the type of marketing I was in, it wasn't really my cup of tea. But what I did enjoy was I was training the new employees that were coming into my department. So I enjoyed the teaching aspect of it. And then I decided to go back to school to be a teacher. And I actually enjoyed working with the students. That was a lot of fun, but there were other aspects of it that just, once again, weren't my cup of tea. So decided to get back into marketing and have my own business.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, Artist Haven Media, that's one of your questions actually. Artist Haven Media started up as a college project. So when I was doing the undergrad, they wanted us to do start up a business, and like, how would you run it? What would you do? And at the time, because I was in a band again at the time with them too, I decided to start a business that would be promoting other musicians. So that's how you have the word artist, and then Haven, meaning a safe place for artists. And then
like that.
We just added in media because now we're multimedia instead of promoting musicians. So went to teaching and decided to get out of teaching, and then eventually, I like to think everything happens for a reason. So once that job ended, I saw it as a sign to just go full time with Artist Haven Media. So.
Well, I'm sure the world is glad that you did. And I know I was going to ask you about how your journey began, and you've told us a little bit about how your journey began and when you entered into the field of marketing. But as a business owner, I know that for some people, it's not always readily easy. And for viewers who we're hoping that they will learn something from learning from you, as I have. What are some of the key parts of marketing that Artist Haven Media does? I know you talk about the artists, but what about, say for example, someone who is starting up a business? What are some of the things you do for them with regards to Artist Haven Media?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. So basically, we like to say we do everything all under one roof. So let's say someone is coming and they're starting a business. We do graphic design, website design, social media management. We can assist with that. Videography, photography. We also have a recording studio. So if someone wanted to come in and record an audio ad, perhaps for their business, we can assist with that. Or if they want to have a podcast.
Nice. And as a business owner, what struggles did you have and how did you overcome these struggles?
One struggle that I had was at the time, I was still working as a teacher and trying to get RSA Media up and running as full-time as well. So working basically 2 full-time jobs, that was a challenge. But I always made time to dedicate towards Artist Haven Media. So what I like to say is that that's where my passion was, and so I had to find time for it. I couldn't just let it go onto the back burner. So I definitely recommend if anyone has a business and they may be struggling with that, to always find time to follow what you want to do. Because whatever you're putting your energy into, that is what will grow.
I like how you say that. Whatever you put your energy into, that is what will grow. Besides that, did you find that you ever had a traumatic experience as a business owner that you'd like to share with us?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for asking that question. So, so basically, when we first started, so I started RCA Media a long time ago. I won't age myself, but when we decided to bring it back as like a company that we wanted to have an office space and recording studio, I enlisted my cousin Chris. He's a co-owner of it, and also at the time we had my former fiance. She was a business owner, or a co-owner as well, and while we were trying to set things up, there was not tension, but just some disagreements in between all 3 of us as to what services would we offer, also the physical location of the business, and so it wasn't gelling, and so we figured things out. We found a location. We figured out what services we wanted to pinpoint. However, then the relationship with my fiance at the time, that dissolved. However, I didn't know until I showed up at the studio or office one day, walked in and found the ring on the table right there. She took all of her stuff. So that was quite shocking to find it in the place that I had created to be like my own safe haven as well. And that was traumatic. But in the aftermath so the relationship had dissolved, we found out that she decided to change the passwords to our accounting software without letting us know, as well as utilizing some of our resources that had our name on it for herself. She changed it to be about a new business that she had started for herself. And also she was not communicating with clients that she had been working on their projects, and instead telling them to talk to me, whereas I had no idea because I wasn't working on those projects. So there's a lot of miscommunication, a lot of pieces that not only I had to pick up my own life, but then I had to pick up the pieces of the business as well. So
that must have been tough.
It was quite challenging. It was I want to say a long journey. I almost said a battle, but I guess in a way it was a battle because legally, business-wise, we had to make sure that we were following protocol to Now, all of a sudden, she wasn't a co-owner anymore. So we had to follow certain steps. I had to figure out how to get into the accounting software. I had to prove that I was a business owner and that she no longer was. Also, personally, we had the wedding venue picked out. We were paying, we were planning everything. And then all of a sudden, that path that I had planned wasn't there anymore. So picking up the pieces personally, professionally, Chris and I decided to revamp our website to make it about what we wanted it to be, or rebranding in a sense. And then we also decided to pivot a bit with our services to make it be about what we wanted it to be. And that's how our website has stayed the same since then. So I feel like it was a blessing in disguise.
You know what, Ryan? Thank you very much for sharing your vulnerability with all of us.
Sure.
Because I'm sure someone out there is going through something similar or even more. I cannot even fathom, but I applaud you for the strength you have and that you were able to harness that strength, not only to revamp your business, but also revamp yourself. You know, where did that strength come from?
It actually, that's a good question. It boils down to a quote that Chris and I, we always say, not only about our business, but I've used it personally for myself, but to keep moving forward. No matter what, whether you're walking, running, finding little pieces here and there, little steps that you can take to move forward, always move forward.
So you literally took your pain and turned it into your passion. And now today you have a wonderful marketing company. You have a great team you're working with, and you're doing so much for so many other business people. What advice would you give viewers who are starting up a business now that you've learned all those things from, you know, not just your trauma, but the fact that you're standing tall because of it and you're stronger because of it? What advice would you give to others?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, I already said one of them. I had them written down. So to keep moving forward. Then once again, even if it's just small steps, as long as you're moving forward towards your goal, that is success, that is progress. And as you move forward, you feel good about yourself, you feel more positive, you feel like you're being productive. So always move forward. I would also suggest to follow your intuition, not only about business, but in life as well. If you feel like something isn't right, just trust your gut. Also, don't be afraid to say no or to walk away from a situation that just doesn't feel right. I think that can go with both business and personal experiences. And lastly, I like this quote that our grandmother used to always say, that even our enemies can be our friends because they push us in the right direction.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. I have found throughout my life, whenever I come upon a disappointment, that you do tend to look at the negative pieces, but if you start to look at the positive pieces, the outcome is different. Again, thank you so much for being here on the Dr. Powell Show and the different words of wisdom that you have provided us with. For those viewers who are interested in a top-of-the-line marketing company, I can tell you Artist Haven Media, I highly recommend them. Would you like to tell us where you're located, how people can find you, and what you're offering if you have anything new that's coming on board that would be ideal for a new business owner?
Sure, absolutely. And before I get into that, thank you for having me. It's appreciated. So you can find us on artisthavenmedia.com. You can find us on social media if you just look up Artist Haven Media. As for services that we offer, podcasting is I feel like that's a newer service that we are finding a lot of businesses are interested in. Whether it's you want to start your own podcast, or even if you want to just record an audio ad that you'd like to put onto a different podcast, we can certainly assist you with that. We also have web design. That's pretty big. So we can certainly help you bring your vision to life.
Thank you so much again, Mr. Carson, for being here with us today.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
you for your words of wisdom and for your advice. And I look forward to hearing more great things about you.
Well, thank you, Dr. Powell. You're doing such a great thing with your show, and it's an honor to be here.
Thank you. It means a lot. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I hope that you were inspired. And I hope that you will also use your passion, your gifts that you have. Don't look at the pain. And remember, you are not alone. Until next time, see you soon. To sponsor the show or to help other programs, donate to Community Voice channel at this QR code that you'll see coming up on the screen.